And we are live. Hello there. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Let's Talk Fishing video podcast. My name is Jay Angel, and I will be the host of tonight's festivities. The first thing I'd like to talk to you about, guys, if you are in southern Louisiana or anywhere close to southern Louisiana, please consider coming to the Responsible Anglers United second annual bass restocking fundraiser. Last year, we raised enough money to put 32,000 bass in Lake Buff, which is down by Raceland, Louisiana, and we placed them in there in October, and they were between 4 and 6 inches long. And man, we have a lot of things to auction off. We got some great food. We got Domino's pizza. We got booze. We got beer. We have soft drinks, and this is a kid-friendly event. So please consider coming. And if you can't, check this out. Please donate to our cause, because this really is a very good cause. Now, I'd like to get to what we're all here for. We're all here to talk to Rhonda Pitts. How are you doing tonight, Rhonda?
I'm doing fine, Jay. How are you?
I'm doing great. You know, guys, Rhonda was nice enough to write an article for my online blog, magazine, newsletter, whatever you want to call this thing. Right here was the cover page I made for her article. And just look at that logo she had made for herself. That thing is awesome, even though I wrote all over it.
Kit Lug does a very, very good job. He's done all my artwork so far.
Man, that's awesome, Rhonda.
Yeah, he's really good.
I love that. You know, you got the cypress trees in the back and a Louisiana transplant like myself.
Yeah.
Man, you got the little swamp motif in the back. I love it, man. Cypress trees. I've caught a lot of bass on the base of cypress trees. I'm sure you have too.
Oh yeah, they love them.
They love those things. And also, right down here at the bottom of the page, I guess you can cut and paste that if you want, and go and see the article she wrote. I was very, very, very happy about that. And thank you very much for writing that for us, Rhonda.
Oh, well, you're very welcome. And, thank you for the invite to contribute to the newsletter. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, that won't be the last one. I'm going to have a lot of people. I'm going to have a lot of guest authors. And, of course, every time I go fishing, I don't even know what you call it. I just take, 15 pictures and just have a little blurb about each picture. That's explanation of my fishing trip. So right down there at the bottom of the page is how you find that. But let's talk about spinnerbait. Not spinnerbaits. Good Lord. Chatterbaits.
How about a chatterbait?
Right there.
So that one in particular, I wrote about that in the article. That is a Slowtown Custom Lures. Barker's Magic is the color, and I don't know if you can tell on there, but that one actually has a weed guard on it, so it's weedless. And it has a Paul Crew Custom Lures chartreuse and white paddle tail on it. So my husband and I have had a lot of fun with that. I really only have about 2 colors of chatterbaits. That's one of them, and white is my other.
Okay. Well, certainly a lot of fish have fallen victim to white lures, in particular white swim baits. White that used to be a standard color before we started getting fancy.
Yeah.
Now that we're so fancy, well, you have chartreuse right there, and chartreuse was another one of the colors that we used to use before we started getting fancy. Remember the days of Mr. Twister? You had you had chartreuse, and you had black and purple.
Yep. That was about the 3 colors then.
Yeah. I loved it. White, chartreuse, black, and purple, Well, I know I had purple up north because I used that for walleyes. I banned a Mr. Twister. Is this 2 inches? The 3 inches, just deadly for actually smallmouth bass, black. The black showed up really well against sand, and man, I've caught so many smallmouth bass on that.
Well, a smallmouth like purple also.
Yes, they sure do. And you have caught a few smallmouth bass, haven't you?
One or two, yeah.
I find it amazing how people like Tyler Rivette from Raceland, Louisiana, which you can practically see the Gulf of Mexico from Raceland, Louisiana. He goes up north and just freaking hammers the smallmouth bass up there.
It's a
And
lot of fun.
a lot of the really good bass fishermen from the south go up north and just dominate on smallmouth bass lakes. And you got guys like me who've been fishing smallmouth since I was a boy. Like, well, I guess well, you know about fishing memories.
Yeah,
They used to be here. Why weren't they? Were here last year?
exactly.
Well, you were here in August last year. Now it's June. There's a little different.
A little bit.
The only place I don't find it's different is in streams. They tend to be in the same spots, and that's why smallmouth bass populations are very vulnerable in streams.
Yeah.
In the middle of winter, you're going to find them in the deep holes, just like anywhere else. But okay, let's get back to this. I get off track sometimes. Let's talk about. Why don't you tell us? Okay, why don't you tell? Yeah, there we go. You caught this in Sam Rayburn in 2024. Why don't you tell us about it?
So that was an East Texas Lady Anglers tournament.
Wow.
Just on my birthday.
Wow.
Yeah. So she weighed 838, and I came with 1388 in 3 fish at the end of the day.
3 fish, 1388.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, bass that big, did she fight well?
She fought pretty good. It wasn't a real super long cast, like you would make for smallmouth. I was actually flipping the chatterbait like you would flip a jig up in
Really?
I was doing, and she hit it on the fall, and the fight was on, and Elisa Johnson was my boater that day, and she was there with the net, and I mean, it was early. It was our first stop of the day, so it was super early. Probably I had her in the boat probably by 7:30.
So you had 15 feet of line out.
Yeah, probably. Yep. And so, she put up a good enough fight, but it wasn't enough to get off. So that was a good.
Gary,
boat, and I'm standing there holding her, and I'm shaking like a leaf. I turn around.
Here's my fish. Take a picture quick.
Oh my God! I was like, "Can you take a picture of me?" She was like, "Put that in the live well and go back to fishing. They'll get plenty of pictures at weight."
Get that in the live well now.
Yeah, put it in the live well now. And she barely fit in the live well. She barely fit in my weigh bag.
Yeah, I mean, I had one time when we had saugers and walleye boats have long live wells, usually 3 feet long.
Yeah.
And actually 4 feet long. And so you had these little nets that fit in your live well, and I was netting it, and one of those saugers just jumped over the guy's 250 horsepower motor right back into the river.
Oh, man.
I looked at him, and he looked at me. He's like, "I'm never fishing with you again."
That'll make you sick.
I'm horrible.
That will make you sick. But yeah,
that's why I would have been holding that fish with both hands. Here, take a picture, please.
Yeah. Exactly.
Before I screw this one up. So 15 feet of line out. And man, a fish that big doesn't have to fight hard because it's got so much weight. It just.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she was just heavy. I knew instantly when I set the hook. I was like, oh, God, it's a big one. But I didn't expect it to be 8 pounds. I was thinking, maybe 5 or 6, But, yeah, we got her in the boat. I didn't even weigh her. I didn't even weigh her in the boat. I just stuffed her in the line.
No.
I was like,
well, you don't, because
I'm not going to call that one.
If you call that one, you got the tournament, man.
Exactly. Well, I had the tournament.
I don't care if you're on Sam Rayburn, you're still got the tournament.
Yeah, I did win. I won that day and had big bass. So, yeah. tournament
Oh, that's
director
awesome.
and the weigh guy both said they had never held a bass that big before.
Oh, and it was your birthday present.
And it was my birthday present. That will be one for the record books, I guarantee you.
What a thrill. What a thrill, man. What a thrill.
Yeah, it was an amazing day. And I literally shook all day until we were on the road probably an hour before I finally calmed down and stopped, with the just shaking all over. It was so exciting.
You had an adrenaline burst that almost killed you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I got to walk her from
Okay, so
way to what?
let's break down this technique. Let's break down this technique. So you were essentially flipping with a chatterbait with the trailer, and you were trailing a swim bait on it.
Yeah, I had a Crush City um,
Something
freeloader.
probably a lot like this, huh?
Actually, no, it was a straight. It's a straight tail. It's a freeloader.
Okay, so you had a straight
Mhm.
tail,
Yeah,
soft
Crush
plastic on
City.
the back of it. But
Yeah, Crush City freeloader on the back of it in Tennessee shad. It's one of my favorite colors.
Tennessee
And
shad, yeah, I like that color.
so it's got
Like that
that
color.
little gray and grayish brown glitter on the back of it. Um, and and then the bottom is white that goes with the white chatterbait, this white skirt on the chatterbait. So telling all my secrets.
Yeah,
So
there are no
so the fish in my
there are no.
that would be in my right left hand, the smaller one, that was a 4 pounder.
The smaller one was a 4 pounder.
Yeah.
Good lord! When I say Rhonda Pitts catches giant fish, she catches giant fish. She came up to the St. Lawrence River and caught what, a 7 pound largemouth or smallmouth?
Yeah. Yeah, 723. That'll be my next article.
Oh, you know. Okay, yeah. Okay, tell us about the one in your right hand.
So yeah, the big girl. We were fishing a flooded island. Sam Rayburn was really high uh, in September that year, and so we fished the lakeside first, and we picked up some fish on that side. But when, right at the beginning of the island, there was like some buckbrush that was sticking up, and I had flipped to the backside of it, and I got just a drive by. That little tink that you get, and they
Yes.
just buy and bump it. And I told Lisa, and I said, Lisa, I said, I got a hit here. So I said, but it just drove by. I said, so, you know, can we go around to the other side? She said, oh, girl, we're going to fish this whole thing. And I said, sounds good to me. So we fished that whole front side and picked up a couple of fish. And then when we got to the end, instead of going around the backside and coming around, we turned the boat around and motored all the way back to the front of the island and then started up on the inlet side. And like I said, this was right at the beginning of the island. And so, I just kind of held my bait, and I got up there to that spot where I knew he was, and I just flipped that chatterbait up there, and she caught her on the fall.
Wow. So this one you were casting it.
No, I was flipping it.
Oh, not geez, I'm sorry. You just said that. Okay. So again, you only had about 15 feet of line out.
Yeah.
And when you have 15 feet of line out and you hook into a giant, it's a tug of war.
Yeah, yeah. It was like I said, I knew immediately when I set the hook that there was some weight on there, because I've caught a bunch of 5 and 6 pounders, so
Oh,
I
so you
know
have.
a larger fish feels like, and I was like, no, no. And we got her up to the boat, and of course I start hollering, and because
Man,
Then the adrenaline starts, and I still didn't realize she was that big until we actually got her in the net and got her in the boat.
You know, when you hook into a fish, when you hook into a bass that big with a short amount of line out, you better have a superior rod.
Yeah, I
Because if
was
you have something that's too stiff, you're gonna lose it. If you have something that's too flimsy, you're
right.
like I love my crankbaiting rods, the glass rods I have, but I don't trust those when it comes to giant bass. They're just
So
too flimsy.
what I was using that day, I was using my Lou's Signature Series chatterbait rod, which is an Andy Montgomery Signature Series, and Thunder Cricket is what Andy's all about.
Sure.
So because he developed the Thunder Cricket, so and that's my chatterbait rod. And then I got a Lou's tournament MP reel, and that's probably in a 6-to-1 or so. I don't like a real fast flow,
It's a
reel
slow,
or
yeah, that's
slow
slow.
reel, something medium, and and my cigar line Tatsu.
So is that do you use braid?
No, I was using fluorocarbon, straight
Okay.
fluorocarbon.
Straight fluorocarbon.
Yep,
Okay.
Tatsu. See,
Now, why straight? Is that only for flipping or?
no, it's because I was running a chatterbait. I don't run a chatterbait. I would run a jig on blade, but I don't run a chatterbait on braid.
Okay. Because most
Yeah,
of the time, I mean, I
because
have.
most of the time you're not going to be flipping it like you are a jig. And if I've got Tatsu on my reel, I don't have to worry about it.
Okay, tell me the difference from Tatsu to traditional fluorocarbon.
So Tatsu, Seaguar Tatsu is it's a super strong um fluorocarbon. Um I I prefer it in heavy cover, even over a Braze X. If I'm going to be in rocks
Right.
and for
Okay.
mussels, I'm going to use the Braze X. But if I'm in heavy cover, I'm always going to have Tatsu on my line on my rods.
Yeah. Since you're starting to fish the Great Lakes, I can tell you, man, I would use that because I always use fluorocarbon on the Great Lakes because
Yeah,
I needed 6 pound test because it's crystal clear,
yeah,
and particularly when you get like further north in the Great Lakes,
yeah,
like I get up in Door County, which is in Green Bay.
yep,
6 pound fluorocarbon, straight fluorocarbon, and back then we primarily used tube jigs.
yeah.
I'd like to talk about something that David Swinside sent to me from Drank Crazy. This is what it came in. This thing is a super finesse thing. It's meant to be used on the top of the water. And just look at this thing. It's just I can't wait to get out there. I've been trying to get out there, but every time I go down to the coast to fish for trout, it's so cold or it's so hot, and they're not there in great numbers. And the only thing I seem to be able to catch them on is live bait.
Yeah,
But I cannot wait to use the skibbles too.
yeah, yeah. That should tear those trout up, especially in that color.
It look, it's got its split ring is up here,
Yeah,
so you just kind of, I mean, you have to know exactly where they are to
yep.
use this thing. This is not a search bait. This is super finesse, and nobody does finesse better than David Swinside.
No, no, you're
Nobody.
right.
David Swinside seems to do everything better than
He is a um, angling engineer.
just next level. Wait, what you said? Yeah,
He is
he's
an
just
engineer.
level.
But David,
I asked him if he had a degree in engineering, and he said no. He's got a degree in psychology. And I said, fish psychology? Him and Aaron Martins were just they pushed the industry further than
yeah,
any other team.
yeah,
And I mean, the fishing industry has had some great teams, some of the best people in the world. But those two are just second to none. Everything they've ever sent me when he was working for Duo, I mean, still some of the stuff he developed for Duo, man, I use that every time I drop shot.
Yep.
And I
Yep.
always get fish on them. And
Yep.
you know, the swivel, I cannot wait. That's another thing that's meant to just go on top of the water and just kind of goes back and forth, crazy,
Yeah.
just crazy stuff.
Yeah. It's a whole other level. The drink crazy baits and their rods that they have, it's all they're all just a completely different level than uh, even the way that we here in the U.S. think about fish and fishing, and catching. Um, they have a whole different mindset on it. And I mean, talking with David is just, I'm just in awe every time I'm on the phone with him. It's like, God, man, I just need to like be in the boat with you for like 2 days, and that's just gonna not even scratch the surface of what you know. He's
Yes,
heard more than a lot of people will ever even know about fishing.
there are thoughts in that guy's head that just
Yeah,
it's something I'm like, wow.
yeah.
He's one of the few
Pretty
people,
good.
he'll call me and I just let him talk.
Oh yeah, ask questions and let him talk.
Yes. Ask questions, let him talk. So guys, check out DrankCrazyInternational.com. Check this thing out. I can't wait to use that. And there's so many other things he sent me that I just don't have time. I could do 6 podcasts with him and still not cover everything I wanted to cover with him. Well, just like Rhonda.
You can do a podcast with David every week for the year and cover everything that you need to cover.
Yeah, I've never covered the same thing twice. Exactly.
Yeah, no,
Exactly. That's just how good this guy is.
yeah.
So tell me what we have a couple minutes left.
Okay.
What tournament trails are you going to be fishing this year?
So I'm going to be fishing the Major League Fishing BFLs, and then I'm going to be doing the East Texas Lady Anglers, their tournament trail, and I'm really, really hoping that Bass goes back to Erie um, in the summertime for their national qualifier because I would love to go back up there and fish Erie and maybe even St. Clair, and maybe it won't be quite as mad at us as it was last year because it was horrible last year, horribly mad.
Oh, Lake
So,
Erie was mad.
oh my God, Erie and St. Clair both. So there was 8 foot rollers.
Oh yeah, that's
I
I
mean,
would know. What, you ever heard of venom lures?
I have heard of them. Yeah.
Okay, I was fishing with the owner of Venom Lures, the old owner, Dave Maurice, and we were going to go out in Erie. I drove 6 hours each way, and we get there, and he's like, "There's 6 foot rollers out there," and I'm like, "Oh man!" And he's like, "No, no, no," and we didn't get out of the harbor,
Yeah,
and we probably got
because you
15
couldn't.
bass a piece.
Yeah.
And that was the first day I ever fished with tubes. I mean, that tells you how long ago this was.
Yep.
First day I've ever even seen tubes, and Dave Maurice himself taught me how to use tubes.
That's cool.
Of course, then again, as a writer and a guide, I brought tubes to thousands of people.
Well, that's
But that's what we're supposed to do as pros, isn't it?
yeah, that's what you do.
That's what we do. That's what we do. You are exactly right. Well, Rhonda, you have anything else you'd like to tell us? Did you qualify
Um,
for something?
I'm sorry.
Did you qualify for something this year?
No, not this year. Last year in 25, when I fished the Erie Bass Nation, when I fished the Bass Nation National Qualifier, I finished fourth, which qualified me to go to the national qualifier at Cross. Um, I didn't get to make the trip to La Crosse. We had other plans in Europe, and that had already been made. But I did qualify for the nationals last year.
So fourth on Erie, and you
Yes.
finished fourth in a national qualifier.
Uh huh.
What kind of a basket did you have to net a fourth?
I had 1103
Okay.
and
And
330.
where did you launch out of?
I don't even remember. It was somewhere around Sandusky, I think.
Oh, so you were in Sandusky Bay?
Yeah.
Okay, so you were in Sandusky Bay, man. Sandusky Bay is shallower than the rest of Erie,
Yeah.
and there are
Well,
actually largemouth in Sandusky Bay.
so where we went out of, if you went to the left out of the bay, you could go up the Detroit River and go into St. Clair, which is where I,
Ooh, you went into St. Clair
uh-huh.
on a windy day from Sandusky Bay.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a run.
Yeah. It was about an hour run, hour and a half.
If you're getting there in an hour, you were moving
Yeah.
on a windy day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it wasn't as bad in the morning as it was in the afternoon when we came back. Uh, um, so yeah, in the afternoon when we came back, we allowed an extra hour to get back for weigh in, and we made it with like 37 seconds or something left to check in.
Yeah, but you made it alive, man. And a lot of
Yeah, we
people,
made it alive,
Lake
and
Erie has swallowed up a lot of boats.
yeah, yeah, and there, my boater, on the way back, the mounts for his graphs come loose, and
Hmm.
his trolling motor come loose, and one of the guys that we were talking to, his actual motor mounts on the back of the on the transom of the boat backed out. They had to go in the next day and tighten up the bolts on the motor. So I mean, there was power poles laid on the backs of decks, and
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, it was
I've been in
it
the
was
Great Lakes before with fishing with guys, and you know their trolling motor came off.
yeah, yeah. There was some of that
There-
too. So it was a very harrowing
Actually,
experience, but
going across Green Bay one time, fishing a team walleye event. You know, that's a team tournament.
mhm.
The guy, I had my boat up there, and he had his boat up there, and we used his boat for the first day of the tournament. He lost his 9.9 right off the back of
Yeah,
his lund.
yep.
And he said he's going home. I said, "You can go home. I'm fishing tomorrow." And you know, I had I remember I had a special mount for my 9.9, and it didn't come off the next day.
Yeah,
And it was even worse the next day, and we still went across Green Bay. But
yeah,
I was going 12 miles an hour. It took us an hour and a half to get across. And he was going 40 miles an hour, and he lost his motor. Guys,
yep,
be careful. Careful when you're
yeah,
on this big water. I've seen it swallow up so many. I've been doing this for over 25 years, talking to fishermen, and I love the Great Lakes. I love them, man. They're on a the fish in the Great Lakes are on a different scale
yes.
than the rest of the world.
Yeah. I was very fortunate that I had a boater that was from the area. So he
Yes,
really how to ride the waves and get in those troughs, and I mean, it still beat us to death, but it wasn't nearly as bad as it could have been.
you can ride one wave for miles.
Well, with the exception that the way the wind was coming across, it was against the current, so yeah, it was bad.
Okay, we have a comment here. It says, "Go the Bass Girl."
Thank you.
Yes, you may ask a question. Please ask your question. We'll answer it if there's an answer.
We'll make up one.
Yeah, we go. Oh, don't leave us hanging, man.
Yeah. So while we're waiting on the question, I just want to say I want to thank my sponsors for everything that they do for me. Without them, I couldn't be doing this.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
so I'm going to run through my list of sponsors just because I got to get their
Please
name out there.
do.
Of course, Seagar, uh, I love my Seagar line. Lou's Rods and Reels, Drink Crazy, Baheo Sunglasses, Gajo Lures, Click Custom Baits, Yolatech, Rapala, Woo Tungsten, Fish Her, and Slowtown Custom Lures.
There you go. There you go. There you go. And so you're going to be fishing the the East Texas Lady Anglers too,
Yeah,
with Denise.
with Denise. Yep.
Man, good people. Good
Yeah.
people.
It's a really good club, and I will say, ladies, if you want to come fishing and you're in the East Texas, if you're close to anywhere close to Sam Rayburn or Toledo Bend, those are the two lakes we primarily fish, and we just bounce back and forth. Come and join us. You will have a ton of fun, and it doesn't matter skill level, because that's what our boaters are all about, teaching and helping you learn, and we just have a lot of fun.
Yeah, and the trophy potential on those two lakes is. I guess
I,
there are lakes that have better trophy potential, but not a whole lot of them.
I lost a double digit on Toledo Bend in March last year.
Yeah, I hate it when that happens.
Yeah,
And for the rest of your life, you'll dream about that fish.
yeah, yeah.
For the rest of Rhonda, I'd like to thank you for all the help you've given me.
Well, you're very welcome, Jay. And anytime I can do
Oh,
anything, you
goodness.
just holler.
I'm sorry, I just lost power here.
Uh-oh.
Am I still? Can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. We just lost power here, but no big deal. I guess it's still things are still working. but
Yeah, it just seems
but
to work.
anyways, man, thank you for all the help you've given me over the years. We've done a lot of podcasts together, and I'd like to have people like you that I can call on to do podcasts and you write articles for me too, man. It's just been great.
Well, and like I said, you're very welcome. And anytime I can do anything, just holler at me, and we'll see what we can work up.
It okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So guys, thank you very much for tuning in to the Let's Talk Fishing podcast with Rhonda Pitts and Jay Angel. And even though it's very cold, I have to go to an event this weekend. But if I wasn't going to that event, you better believe I'd be down at the coast looking for those redfish and speckled trout. Man, I'm going to tell you this. If you like to fish for bass, don't come down here and fish for redfish and speckled trout because you will become addicted to it. It's more addictive than fentanyl, and it's even more fun than that crap.
I've heard that.
Speckled trout and redfish they're like bass. Redfish are bass on steroids.
That's what I've
That's,
heard.
that's the only way I can describe them. You use almost the same stuff. I can't wait to use this for redfish will bite on stuff like this, and to see a 20 to 30-inch red come up there and grab a topwater lure.
Got to get your heart pumping.
Yeah, be shaking just like Rhonda's talked about. So, anyways, man, with that, I'm going to end the podcast. And guys, get out there and go fishing. I know I run a podcast, but you're never going to learn anything about. You can fine tune your presentations by watching podcasts like this, but if you want to learn fishing, you got to get out there and get on the water. There's no substitute for that.
That's true.
Okay, Rhonda, stick around for a minute after we're done. Guys,
Yep.
good fishing.
See you on the water.